Hey there, friends. Welcome back to another episode of English 101. Today, we're diving into a really important topic: how to think in English and stop translating everything in your head. If you've ever struggled with fluency, this episode is for you. Let's break those mental chains and start speaking naturally. Thinking in English is one of the most powerful steps you can take in your language learning journey. When you translate everything from your native language to English, you slow yourself down. You may start a sentence in your head, realize you don't know a word, and then completely lose confidence. But when you think directly in English, everything becomes faster, smoother, and more natural. It's like turning off the subtitles in your brain. At first, it may seem impossible, especially if you're used to translating every word. But I promise, with the right strategies and consistency, you can train your mind to think in English. One great way to start is with simple objects around you. Instead of saying, "This is book" in your native language, say, "This is a book." Do this with everything around you. The window is open. My phone is on the table. I'm feeling tired. These small phrases, repeated daily, help your brain get used to forming thoughts in English. Another tip is to use mental narration. This means talking to yourself in your head throughout the day. For example, when you're walking to the store, think, "I need to buy some vegetables, maybe tomatoes and onions. I wonder if they're fresh today." It might feel strange at first, but this is exactly what native speakers do. They think in their language. You can do it too. Watching and listening to English content without subtitles also trains your brain to stop depending on translation. Start with simple videos, short podcasts, or even YouTube channels for kids. Don't worry if you don't understand every word. The goal is to absorb the rhythm, tone, and natural patterns of English. Over time, your brain starts to predict and process the language faster. Repetition is key. You must repeat common phrases so often that they become automatic. Expressions like, "I don't know," "Let me think," "That's a good question," "What do you mean?" These are used in everyday conversations. Practice them out loud and in your head until you don't need to think. They just come out. A good practice is shadowing. Listen to a short audio clip or video and repeat immediately after the speaker, trying to match their rhythm and pronunciation. This forces your brain to focus on English sounds and flow, not translation. Another effective technique is to write your thoughts in English, even if just in a notebook. At the end of the day, write about what you did, how you felt, and what you plan for tomorrow, all in English. The more you express your life in English, the more natural it becomes. Also, avoid using bilingual dictionaries too often. Try to learn new words with English explanations, images, or examples. This builds stronger mental connections in English rather than linking words back to your first language. Build an English-speaking environment around you. Change your phone and apps to English. Follow English-speaking creators on social media. Engage with comments in English. Little by little, these things help you live the language instead of just learning it. You might also consider thinking in categories. For example, think about animals: cat, dog, elephant, giraffe. Or food: rice, chicken, pizza, banana. Visualize each item as you name them. This builds direct links between the word and the object or idea, without your first language involved. When you catch yourself translating, pause and try to say the thought again, this time in English. It's okay if it's slow or imperfect. The effort is what counts. This rewires your brain to form thoughts in the target language. Reading simple books in English helps too. When you read children's books or beginner novels, you start to understand sentence patterns and vocabulary naturally. You can even read out loud to practice both thinking and speaking. Talk with yourself in English. For example, ask yourself, "What do I need to do today?" And then answer, "I need to clean my room and finish my homework." This is simple, but powerful. Try practicing scenarios in your head. Imagine you're in a restaurant. What would you say? "Can I have the menu, please?" "I'd like a sandwich." "Can I get the bill?" Role-playing in your mind builds mental fluency. Join online English speaking clubs or practice with AI chat tools to get more input and response in real time. These are low-pressure ways to apply thinking in English. You can even record yourself speaking for a minute each day about any topic. Over time, compare recordings and hear your improvement. Most importantly, be patient and kind to yourself. This is a skill, and it grows slowly. You don't need to be perfect. The goal is progress, not perfection. Celebrate every step. Even if you catch one moment of thinking in English without translation, it's a win. Over time, your brain will rewire itself. You'll find yourself replying in English before you even realize it. This is fluency. This is freedom. Thinking in English is not just a language skill, it's a mindset shift. When you start thinking in English, you are allowing your brain to adopt a new pattern of understanding and expressing thoughts. This is the key to fluency. Most language learners make the mistake of translating every sentence from their native language, which slows them down and creates confusion. The goal should be to bypass translation and directly form thoughts in English. That's when your fluency truly begins. One simple but powerful method is to describe your environment in English. Look around your room and think, "There is a table, a lamp, a chair." Then go deeper. "This is a wooden table. I use it for studying. The lamp is bright. It helps me read better at night." You can do this anytime, while walking, shopping, cleaning. It keeps your brain active in English mode and stops you from relying on your first language. Another strategy is using internal monologues. Talk to yourself in English in your mind. For example, when you wake up, think, "I'm tired. I need to get out of bed. Today is Tuesday. I have a meeting at 10 a.m. Keep your thoughts flowing in English, just like a conversation with yourself. This builds speed and familiarity with everyday expressions. Flashcards can also be useful if used the right way. Instead of just memorizing translations, try writing English words and their definitions in English. This creates direct mental links between the word and its meaning. For example, write apple, a round fruit that is red or green and sweet. This is more effective than writing apple or another translated version. Try thinking in small stories. Create short situations in your head. I'm at a cafe. I order coffee. The waiter smiles. I pay and leave a tip. These mental scenarios help you prepare for real-life interactions and allow your brain to use vocabulary naturally. Over time, the more you practice these scenarios, the faster your brain forms sentences without needing to translate. Shadowing is another excellent method. This means repeating what you hear in English immediately and out loud. You can use English podcasts or YouTube videos. Listen to a sentence and repeat it exactly, copying the rhythm, tone, and pronunciation. It helps you develop a natural flow and also improves your ability to think quickly in English. Listening to English regularly is essential. Your brain needs to be exposed to how native speakers use the language. Watch TV shows, movies, documentaries, or YouTube channels. Don't just listen passively. Try to understand the context, tone, and structure. Pause and repeat sentences. Ask yourself what they mean, and imagine how you would respond in the same situation. Speaking is critical. Even if you don't have a partner to talk with, practice speaking alone. Describe your day out loud. I went to the supermarket. I bought vegetables. It was crowded today. You can also record your voice, listen back, and notice areas for improvement. This feedback loop helps you grow faster and become more confident. Use mind maps in English. When you think of a word like travel, branch out with connected words. Airport, luggage, passport, destination, adventure. This helps you see connections in English rather than translating from your native language. It's a visual method that engages your brain deeply. Labeling your surroundings is also helpful. Place stickers on objects around your house, like door, mirror, window, remote control. Every time you use these objects, your brain will recall their English names automatically. It turns your entire house into a language learning environment. Changing your phone and apps to English can give your brain daily exposure to the language. You'll start seeing phrases like settings, notification, battery, and over time they will become part of your everyday vocabulary. It's a small change that leads to big improvements. Thinking in English doesn't mean thinking perfectly. It's okay to make mistakes or get stuck. The important thing is to keep going. Push through the discomfort. Over time, your brain adapts. It starts forming sentences in English faster, more clearly, and with less effort. Keep a thought journal. Every day, write a few sentences about what's on your mind, in English. Don't worry about grammar or spelling. The focus is on fluency and expression. Over time, your journal becomes a record of your growth and a powerful tool for self-reflection in English. Engage with English communities online. Join Facebook groups, Reddit forums, or language exchange platforms. Reading how people express ideas informally helps you see how real English works. Try replying to posts in English. It builds your confidence and your ability to think fast. Use English for practical thinking. When planning your day, making a to-do list, or organizing your thoughts, try doing it in English. Buy groceries, send email, finish project, call mom. This makes English part of your thought process, not just your study time. Imagine arguments or debates in English. Think about a topic like, is social media good or bad? And then form both sides of the argument in your mind. Try expressing opinions, using transition words like, however, on the other hand, in conclusion. This sharpens your thinking and vocabulary skills. Dreaming in English is a huge sign of progress. If you've ever had a dream in English, it means your subconscious is working with the language. This happens naturally when you expose yourself to enough English and spend time thinking in it daily. Set goals for your internal English practice. For example, commit to thinking in English for 10 minutes every morning and evening. Gradually increase the time. Make it part of your routine, just like brushing your teeth. With consistency, it becomes a habit. Remember, thinking in English is not about perfection. It's about practice. The more you use English in your mind, the less you'll depend on translation. Eventually, English becomes part of your identity, and expressing yourself in it feels natural. Another powerful way to train your brain to think in English is through immersion. While it might not be possible to live in an English-speaking country, you can create an English-speaking environment around you. Change the language settings on your phone, computer, social media, and all your devices. Surround yourself with English podcasts, English songs, English movies, and even English memes. The more you expose your brain to English, the more natural it becomes to think in it. One underestimated method is visualization. When you hear or read a word, try to create a mental image instead of translating. For example, if you hear mountain, imagine a big snow-covered mountain in your mind. Don't think of the word in your native language. This helps your brain connect the English word directly to the concept, not through translation. Visualization turns vocabulary into experience. Use the 5 senses technique. Think in English using what you see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. For example, while eating lunch, think, "This sandwich is crunchy and salty. The lettuce is fresh. I like the spicy sauce." This technique helps you describe real experiences in English, which makes your thinking more vivid and natural. Practice thinking in questions and answers. Ask yourself simple questions like, "What time is it?" And then answer, "It's 3 p.m. What am I doing now?" "I'm writing in my journal." "What will I do later?" "I will go for a walk." This internal Q&A sharpens your fluency and trains your brain to respond quickly. Another great strategy is to set English hours. Choose specific times of the day where you only allow yourself to think in English. For example, 9 to 10 in the morning or while commuting. During these periods, resist the urge to use your native language in your thoughts. Even if it feels hard at first, it forces your brain to adapt and develop new pathways. Use affirmation and repetition to strengthen your thinking habits. Say to yourself, "I think in English now," or "English is my language of thought." Repeating these phrases reinforces the mindset. Language learning is not only mental but also psychological. Belief in your ability plays a big role. Build vocabulary clusters instead of isolated words. When you learn a word like book, also think of read, author, chapter, library, bookstore. This web of related terms allows your mind to move through thought smoothly in English, reducing the need for translation. Avoid using bilingual dictionaries. Instead, use English-to-English dictionaries like Cambridge or Oxford. This practice teaches you to define and understand words in English, which helps you stay in the target language and prevents mental switching between languages. Try narration. As you go through your day, narrate what you're doing in English. "I'm brushing my teeth. Now I'm getting dressed. I'm making tea." These small, everyday statements are powerful. They build automaticity, the ability to use the language without thinking. You can also use English for emotional expression. If you feel angry, excited, or nervous, try expressing it in English to yourself. "I'm really stressed right now because I have too much to do." "I'm happy because I got good news." Using English to express feelings helps you connect language with emotion, making it more authentic and useful. Don't be afraid of mistakes in your thoughts. Nobody will hear your thoughts, so it's a perfect space to experiment, try new words, and form sentences freely. The fear of making mistakes often stops learners from practicing. But in your mind, You're free to be bold and creative. Thinking in English also improves your listening skills. When you get used to English thought patterns, you recognize them more easily in conversations. You start to hear how sentences are structured and how meaning is built, which makes you a better listener. Use sentence frames to help structure your thoughts. Learn phrases like, I'm not sure if, I think that, in my opinion. The reason is that these sentence starters give you a strong base for forming complex ideas in your mind, even before you speak. Storytelling is another excellent technique. Try creating stories in your mind, using characters and events. There was a boy named Sam. He lived in a village. One day, he found a mysterious map. As the story grows, you'll practice verb tenses, vocabulary, and sentence structure without even noticing. Think about your goals in English. I want to improve my pronunciation. I need to expand my vocabulary. Reflect on your progress in English and make plans in English. This turns your learning into a personal mission, not just a school subject. Review your day every night in English. Before sleeping, think. What did I do today? What went well? What could I do better tomorrow? This habit not only improves your English, but also helps you develop self-awareness and discipline. Use English in your hobbies. If you like cooking, watch English recipes and think about the ingredients in English. If you enjoy gaming, switch the game language to English and describe the gameplay to yourself. Connecting English to your passions makes it more enjoyable and sustainable. Watch out for mental translation traps. Sometimes your brain will try to find the right word by translating. Instead, describe the idea using simpler English. For example, if you forget the word frustrated, say, I feel angry and tired because something isn't working. This keeps you thinking in English and strengthens your expressive ability. Create English-only spaces in your home. Maybe a small corner where you keep books, notes, and reminders in English. When you sit there, make a rule. Only English thinking is allowed. This helps create a mental boundary and strengthens the habit. Lastly, be patient. Thinking in English takes time and consistent effort. There will be days when it feels difficult, but don't give up. Every time you choose to think in English instead of translating, you are one step closer to fluency. Your thoughts shape your language, and your language shapes your reality. One key to mastering English thinking is mindfulness. When your mind drifts back to your native language, gently bring it back to English, just like meditation. Don't judge yourself. It's natural. Just be aware and shift. This practice strengthens your mental flexibility and discipline. Over time, your brain will automatically spend more time in English without needing reminders. Use a speaking mirror exercise. Stand in front of a mirror and talk to yourself in English about your day, your plans, your feelings, or anything else. Look into your eyes while speaking. This makes your English thinking more real and emotionally connected. It also builds confidence in speaking because you're facing your own voice and image without fear. Set challenges for yourself. For example, today, I will describe everything I do in English, or I will not translate a single sentence all day. Turn your practice into a game. Challenges create excitement and a sense of progress. You can even reward yourself when you complete them, making learning feel enjoyable. Use English when writing personal notes, to-do lists, or reminders. Instead of writing buy milk in your native language, write it in English. These tiny shifts throughout your day make English the default mode for thinking and communication. Write a daily journal in English. Even if it's just a few lines, it forces your brain to reflect in the language. Start with simple entries like, "Today I went to the park. The weather was nice. I saw some kids playing football." With time, expand to thoughts, reflections, emotions, and plans. Don't underestimate the power of reading. Read books, articles, and blogs in English. But here's the trick. As you read, don't just consume, reflect. Ask yourself, what did I learn from this paragraph? Or, do I agree with this opinion? This reflection in English trains deeper, analytical thinking in the language. Make flashcards with English definitions, not translations. For example, instead of writing happy, write feeling good and joyful. You teach your brain to understand English on its own terms, not through the filter of another language. This builds independence and fluency. Learn how to think around unknown words. If you forget a word, describe it. For instance, instead of microwave, say, "The machine I use to heat food quickly." This paraphrasing ability is what fluent speakers use every day. It's a vital survival skill in real conversations. Create mental dialogues. Imagine situations where you need to speak English, at the airport, in a job interview, at a party. Think about what you would say and how you would respond. These simulations improve your reaction time and prepare you for real-life speaking. If you're more advanced, challenge yourself by thinking about abstract topics in English: politics, emotions, dreams, philosophy. For example, ask yourself, what is the meaning of success? Or, why do people fear failure? Thinking deeply in English pushes your language limits and improves complexity. Make your phone a training tool. Use voice memos to record yourself thinking out loud in English. Later, listen and analyze how you spoke. Were your sentences natural? Did you hesitate? What words did you overuse? This feedback loop helps you identify and fix thinking and speaking patterns. Avoid comparing your English to others. Everyone learns differently. Focus on your own progress and celebrate small wins. Thinking in English is not about being perfect. It's about building a habit that becomes automatic over time. Use mantras and motivational quotes in English. Say to yourself, "Every day, my English improves. Mistakes mean I'm learning. I think in English because I live in English." Positive self-talk creates a growth mindset and encourages consistent effort. Take breaks in English. When you rest, watch English comedy, relax with an English audiobook, or listen to English nature documentaries. Learning doesn't always have to feel like hard work. Passive immersion can be incredibly powerful for building internal fluency. Use online forums or apps where you can think and write in English without pressure. Reddit, Quora, or English learner communities are great places to practice your thoughts, share opinions, and engage in written conversation in real time. Try the English dream exercise. Before sleeping, spend 5 minutes imagining your dreams or goals, all in English. Picture yourself fluent, confident, traveling, studying, or giving a speech. Visualizing these in English connects your ambitions to the language and strengthens your emotional drive. If you feel stuck, slow down. Speak and think more slowly, but clearly. Speed is not fluency. Fluency is the ability to express your thoughts comfortably and accurately. By slowing down, You give yourself time to think in English and reduce anxiety. Accept silence. If you're thinking and the words don't come immediately, don't panic. Stay in English. Breathe. Give yourself permission to pause. Thinking time is not failure. It's part of the process of rewiring your brain. If possible, speak with others who are also learning English and agree to only speak and think in English together. Having a learning partner multiplies your motivation and gives you opportunities to practice spontaneous thinking. Use your emotions as triggers. When something makes you laugh, cry, or get excited, think about it in English. Emotions make thoughts memorable. They also build a deeper connection between language and life. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start thinking in English now, right where you are. Don't wait to feel ready. The process of doing will make you ready. The mind learns best by experience, not by waiting. Understand that thinking in English is not a magical gift. It's a skill, and like all skills, it grows with repetition, patience, and passion. Every thought you form in English is one less thought translated. Every moment you commit is a seed planted for future fluency. Keep a thinking log. Every evening, write what you thought about in English today. How much time did you spend? What words did you use? What felt easy? What was hard? Tracking helps you stay motivated and see real improvement. Never stop reminding yourself why you want to think in English. Whether it's for career, travel, connection, or personal growth, that reason will fuel your discipline. When it gets tough, return to your why. You're already doing something powerful, training your brain to speak the language of opportunity, connection, and knowledge. Don't stop. Keep going. Every step forward is a win. And one day soon you'll realize, you no longer think in English. You live in English.